everyone, it's Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters. I'm up with another 6x8 layout for you today, and it's quite mixed media heavy, this one. So as you can see, I've got my plain white cardstock. It is American Crafts. It is textured cardstock, but I've flipped it over and I'm using the back, which is the smooth side. I haven't prepped my page, and I've just smothered it in a whole bunch of water. So you can see already that it's starting to warp, and that's okay. I will deal with that later. So I've got my Distress Oxide ink refills here, and as you can see, I'm just blotting a few little spots. They bleed really, really well because the paper is already so wet. Now I'm coming in with my water paints, my watercolor paints, just a cheap paint palette that I picked up from a cheap craft shop, nothing special. Just getting lots and lots of water and making sure it's really dabby, really easy to just sort of pop on. And because I'd already covered the page with water, it's just spreading super gently and super well. Now you can see as I start touching the dark blue ink splatters with my paintbrush, it really changes the way that ink looks. It makes it go a little bit more creamy colored, and it really spreads it out in a big distance. Now, depending on the look you want to, depends on how to do that. So I don't put, I liked it better being a darker blob. So I move a few of them. I put my paintbrush into the center of a few of those dark splodge, but a lot of them I just keep as is. And so I'm mixing my dark blue watercolor, my sort of tealy green watercolor, and my light blue watercolor in with my Distress Oxide splodges, and just trying to make this super cool sort of ocean blue effect on my page. And as I look at it now, I possibly could have left a bit more white space, but I end up covering the entire thing so there is no white space at all. So yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing, just filling it all in. Excuse me. So once I have done that, I go ahead and get my heat tool and dry that off. Now, of course, drying that off also makes it warp just that little bit more as well. But I actually just got an iron, totally empty with nothing, no water in it, and just ironed my piece of paper. So it's now back perfectly flat again. So I am now going in with a little circle stamp and a whole bunch of different inks. That was the tumbled glass. What was this one? One of the Mementos teardrops, but I can't remember which one. Teal of some description. Here is a Brilliance, and it's another teal. This one's a bit more of a creamier feel, and it stands out quite a lot brighter than some of the others. Now, the idea I'm going for, I'm not sure it really presents, but the idea I'm going for is kind of like the bubbles in the water. Now, really looking at it now from above and the second time, a little bit of white in amongst that watercolor would have looked gorgeous. So I could have got some acrylic paint, I could have left some blank, even just some white splatters would look really cool. I don't have anything that splatters white. Someone on here gave me a really good tip of which white one they like, and I'm totally hitting that up because I think I do need white splatters in my life now. So once this is done, unfortunately I didn't plan it all that well, and I end up covering quite a lot of my stamping with my photos, which is a bit of a shame. If I had have really thought it through a bit more, I would have put the stamping closer to the edges of the paper, but oh well, the thought was there. These stamps, excuse me, these stamps are from the diamond press, I think. I think I got it when I got my diamond press. So, I do believe. Trying to remember. Yes, I do believe. So I have got a photo here that would be 4x6 size, but it's actually 4 3x4 photos all put together. And I'm using a 6x6 paper pad, which is a Kaiser Craft one about getting away, going on holidays. Can't remember what it's called. Possibly Getaway, possibly Journey. I just pulled out 2 of the papers, and then I just had that tiny piece of black left over, and I'm just layering those all up together not sure you see all the bits and pieces, but you get the idea that there are layers there, because I really wanted this sort of messy, piled with paper, messy look. So I'm just going to pop that down. Just sticking down all those papers so I don't lose the order that I had them in, because that was a little bit tricky to sort of get a little bit showing of each one, which I like. I actually find out later when I'm looking at my page that I've stuck the photo on a bit, wrong, in inverted commas. I wanted more just positioning. I really wanted to see more of the things, and I covered up a few of them. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to stick all of that now down to the page. And now that it's all sort of joined together, that is one big mat, one big piece. And then pop that on to the page, and that's what I'm talking about when I say I cover up most of the bubbles. It's a bit of a shame, but anyway, it happened. And then I'm going to pop my photo up on foam off of the mat, which I don't also always do. Sometimes I will mat the whole entire thing and then pop all of it up on foam, but this time I'm just popping the little mini photo up on foam. Well, it's not mini, the 4x6 photo up on top of all the other mats there. And then I've got this cute little anchor and a little fish, and then I'm going to put my title, which is net fishing, and I'm going to jump ahead because it takes me a little bit of time to work out the placement of this, and even still I don't quite get it straight, but them's life. So I'm just going to jump ahead to that being finished. As I said, if you watched my last video, this is a follow-on of our whole day of cooking school. So once we got on the boat, I'm just following on from the story I started last time, so hopefully this makes sense to you. Once we got on the boat, we had a really nice boat ride out to where the cooking school was going to be. And while we were there, part of sort of the tour is watching these old guys show us how they use the fishing nets. And then we were allowed to get up and have a go. I didn't, for no reason whatsoever, just not every single person had a go. But my mum did, so she jumped up and had a turn. And it was really hard, failed miserably. So it just shows the skill and the effort and the precision that they needed to be able to do that. And then actually catch fish with it, let alone throw it nicely. So that was pretty cool. So the first picture is of, you can't really tell, but how perfectly arching the net is, and how it's a big perfectly round circle almost going out to hit the water. And then Mum's getting all ladened up, ready to go, and then she throws hers and it just plops into the water as nothing. So yeah, funny. What else can I tell you? Not much really, just busily putting on my journaling. I mentioned last time my journaling, I've already pre-prepared all of my journaling. It's all the same size. It is all the same font. It is, everything. So that's all ready to go. Just printed on a normal computer and just sticking that down with double-sided tape. A few little enamel dots, 2 different coloured blue enamel dots I'm going to do. So I've just put 3 enamel dots in this light blue colour. And then I pull out a darker blue or a tealy colour, and I'm going to put 3 next to the clusters in that. And then I feel like the top right-hand corner is missing something. So I do actually end up popping a little embellishment up in that top right-hand corner as well. Now, last time I showed you 2 process videos on making these 6x8s, but I thought with the whole mixed media at the start of this one, it's probably long enough and you didn't need 2. So this is just a single, but I will be back with one more. And I'll probably be back with more again, but then March will be finished. So I will be back with one more. So if you are enjoying the 6x8s, there are more. And also there's a whole playlist of 6x8s. There's not a whole bunch of stash in it, but there is at least a playlist. So please check out the playlist if you're interested in creating albums of this small size. What else can I tell you? Not much. I think I'm done. So I've got some close-ups where you can sort of see the vibrancy of the blue a little bit better. The shiny dark blue, which is the Distress Oxide, is just gorgeous. All my stamping there. I hope you enjoyed this process video. Please leave me a comment or a thumbs up or like or subscribe or any of those million things. We really, truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I will catch you next time.